Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Physique. Thank you for stopping by. Today I just want to do a quick video.
Quick video, my ass. Friggin' 15 minutes. Nice job, Igor.
I've been getting a lot of comments and questions. People have been asking for an update, so I figured I would take my time for this video and do a quick physique, strength, overall, post-competition transitionary into a bulk video and kind of answer some questions that you guys have been having. So as most of you probably know, and for those of you who don't, perhaps you're newer to the channel, number one, welcome. Number two, I did a bodybuilding and physique competition about 7 or 8 weeks ago in early October, and it was a great experience. I got down to 171 pounds, and fortunately I was able to come in good condition and come first place. Unfortunately, the world is not all puppies and sunshine and rainbows, and you don't just drift off into the sunset and start your bulk and immediately snap your fingers and all of your original pre-diet muscle strength endurance, all of that doesn't just come back to you immediately. So the reason behind all of this, guys, is because when you do a diet or a competition prep, which is even more severe considering it's such a big caloric deficit and you get down to like single-digit body fat percentages, it's very physically taxing on your body, on your metabolism, on your strength levels, on your energy levels, even on your mind, psychologically, because your brain, it needs carbohydrates and glucose to run. When you deprive it of that, you get a bit fuzzy. So pretty much after a long period of dieting, you have two options on either ends of the spectrum. You can either dirty bulk, which is eating like 3, 4, 5,000 calories, lots of carbohydrates, fats, protein, eating whatever you want, and you're gonna blow up like a balloon.
And I got a job following
Bulking
people around with a tuba. Stop it! Cut it out! I have a glandular problem.
And on the other hand, you have the concept of a reverse diet. Now this is something that a few of you have been asking, and it's become more popular in recent years. Pretty much what a reverse diet is, it's a very fancy, way or terminology of saying just slowly getting back into a caloric maintenance and eventually into a caloric surplus, entering into a somewhat lean bulk. When I say slow, I mean literally like 5 to 10 grams of carbohydrates, increasing in every week in increments until you are back eventually into a caloric maintenance. Now, a reverse diet has, there's a lot of pros for it. For example, just in general, you're going to probably put on less fat. I have heard people advocating it because there's better fat redistribution. So, you put on like, fat evenly on your body as opposed to just piling it on your gut or something. In addition, it gives your body the ability to increase its metabolism, somewhat gradually. That way, as you eat and ingest carbohydrates and food, your metabolism can kind of keep up with it. And, there's never like an offset and you never end up, gaining excessive amounts of weight. The reverse diet is pretty much something which, deserves its own video, so I will save that for another time. But in my case, I was somewhere in the middle of the spectrum. And it's unfortunate because reading online, I see a lot of people think that you're either dirty bulking or you're completely clean and reverse dieting, which essentially is still dieting because you are still in a, for a few weeks afterwards in a slight caloric deficit. And it feels like there's only two options, which is preposterous because myself and plenty of people out there, we live somewhere right in the middle. What I mean by that is I immediately bump my calories up to maintenance and then gradually put myself in a caloric surplus, going up by like 100 calorie increments, weekly up until the point where I am now, where I'm essentially eating in a decent bulk. My macros, if you guys are interested, I'm eating about 180 to 200 grams of protein, about 80 to 90 grams of fat, 400 to 450 grams of carbohydrates, which is a lot. And guys, do not underestimate the power of carbohydrates. They are absolutely essential to growth, strength gain, muscle gain, endurance, absolutely everything. This totals about 3,000 to 3,200 calories, depending on, it's a range, so usually I'm somewhere in between there. This puts me in a caloric surplus, so I am growing slowly, but I'm not doing anything crazy like last year. God, I was so stupid. I don't know why, but like immediately after my competition, I jumped into a heavy, dirty bulk. Yes, I will admit that's what I did. Eating 3,500 to 4,000 plus calories a day, and I gained weight really fast.
All right, guys, as you know with my channel, I try to approach things from a slightly more scientific and quantitative standpoint. I don't know, I just feel like if I can calculate and count something, I can measure it, I just am way more comfortable with it. This is the 2015 post-contest progression. I plotted the weights and I threw up a trend line. And as you can tell, there was a lot of weight increase in the beginning. Part of it's from fat, part of it's just solely from water weight because, increase in carbs, increase in glycogen. Glycogen binds water. You get the picture. This is actually the slope of the trend line. If you guys remember it back in high school, y equals mx plus b. That number in red is actually the slope of the trend line, which is the daily weight gain that I have had over the course of this, 6, 7, 8 week period. So, some of you guys may be believing that, 0.3 pounds per day is a bit quick. This equates to about 2.3 pounds per week. But the scary thing is this is way slower and, cleaner, for lack of a better word, than what I did last year, which is so stupid. Here is last year's dirty bulk progression, and 1.795 pounds per friggin' day. Like, what was I thinking, guys? I went from 178 to 203 pounds in under 3 weeks. That was not one of my finest moments. This equates to about 8 to 10 pounds of weight gained per week. Yeah, so definitely doing my best to not repeat that this year.
So some of you guys may be wondering, why didn't I take, a slower route and do the whole reverse diet concept? Well, it's very simple. Number one, it's friggin' hard. Guys, I will admit the motivation isn't there as much as it was before, because before you were, dieting for a competition, you had a contest. And also, number two is because I need to gain strength very fast. I am in a sense on a time limit, and the reason behind that is because when you are on a reverse diet, you will eventually get into a bulk, and you will gain strength, and you will put on size, but I do believe that it doesn't happen as quickly as someone who were obviously to speed up, carbohydrate and caloric intake, and I don't have that luxury. If I was doing a reverse diet, maybe I would be back to my original pre-competition strength sometime in January, maybe like early February. And the reason behind that, guys, is because I compete, as you guys know, in bodybuilding in the summers and powerlifting in the winters. And this year I already have my eyes set on a few competitions sometime in the spring, but there's definitely in June, early June, I want to do the Toronto Pro Super Show. That's a big powerlifting meet spanning 2 days with 100 athletes. So I'm extremely excited for that. On a positive note, I can say that I believe I have successfully completed my transitionary or recovery period, and my strength is more or less back to where it was before I started my diet way back in January. And that's fantastic, because it means that at this point, I have nowhere to go but up. I am no longer trying to get back to where I was before, which means over the next 6 to 7 months before my anticipated powerlifting meet dates, I can only, go up from here and set plenty of PRs. Plenty. Guys, this is all thanks to carbohydrates. I've talked to a lot of people out there who, they message me, they got questions, and they're like, hey man, I want to bulk, I want to get stronger, I want to get bigger, but it's not working, can you help me out? And I'm like, sure, so what do you, how are you training? And give me a rundown of your macros. And they say, all right, so I'm keeping my carbohydrates between 200 to 250 because I'm scared of gaining any body fat and I want to stay lean while I bulk. There you go. That is pretty much 100% of your problem. Guys, I know that a lot of you out there are scared to put on any body fat at all, during a bulk, but the thing is, you need carbohydrates. I'm not saying go and pig out eating like 600-700 grams of carbohydrates, unless you're some crazy ectomorph with ungodly metabolism, Harry Potter type magical powers. But for the most of us, I believe that, increasing your carbohydrates to something like in the 350 to 400 range at a minimum is sufficient, maybe higher if you're a bigger dude. And the reason behind that is you require carbohydrates for so many things. I mean, they put you in a caloric surplus. They provide energy for your body. No carbohydrates means no glucose. No glucose means no ATP synthesis. No ATP means no energy for your muscles to actually work, which means you're going to have bad, weak, crappy workouts, and you are not going to get anywhere in terms of your strength, let alone your size. And guys, if you don't want to take my word for it, simply look at the results. I have some of my own evidence, which I believe speaks for itself.
All right, guys, so I thought I would include a few before and after, cutting and bulking examples of old and recent footage, just to really demonstrate and emphasize the amazing anabolic, energizing, friggin' just generally magical power of carbohydrates. And part of the reason, this will explain why I'm doing things a little bit faster than some of you may have, predicted. This is the deadlift. I got 405 for 4 crappy-ish reps, in about, I think this was competition vlog 7, back in September. And now I actually set a new PR of 405 for friggin' 12 reps. Moving on to the squat. The squat is definitely one of the places which I definitely had the most room to improve. This is, I believe, competition vlog 5 or 6. I'm just going to speed through this because, to be honest, I don't really want to look at this. I mean, 225, and I got 8, reps, and it almost killed me, which is, pretty bad for someone my size. And fortunately, 315 for 8 in this clip. This is from the 10,000 pound challenge, which I uploaded back in, I think, late October, early November. So the reps were pretty clean, I believe. It's crazy because same amount of reps and, I just threw on an extra plate. Rounding out the final of the big 3, this is the bench press. This was, I believe, competition vlog, again, 5 or 6 or something. 225 for 8 reps. To be honest, the chest and the bench press is actually one of the muscle groups where I seem to retain a considerable amount of strength. Yes, that's right, 225 for 8 during my cut, the exact same as my squat. I am legit benching as much as I squat, so either my squat is retaining a lot of strength or my bench is just pathetic. This is just a week ago. I am doing 268 pounds. Yeah, I have some micro plates on the side. I picked up a pair. 268 pounds for 10 sets of 3. So I really feel right now that I am able to, handle large volumes of weights, which, to be honest, I don't know if I can do for more than, a rep or 2 just about a month or 2 ago. Now, just to keep things consistent, because I did 225 in the clip from the cutting season, this is 225 for 14 reps, I believe. Again, this is from the 10,000 pound challenge. I do want to mention that this is after the set of squats, so realistically, I think I could have come close to my all-time record on the 225 rep out of 17 reps. Nonetheless, this is very satisfying, almost doubling what I did during the cut.
So some of you guys may be wondering, what is with this whole 10 sets of 3, 7 sets of 5, etc. I'm actually giving Matt August's 753 rep scheme a try. I like to try, play around with different powerlifting, schemes, programs, whatever you want to call it, every year. Last year I did 531, which was fantastic. My raw total, that's the total of your bench, squat, and deadlift in powerlifting. And my raw total combined went up 95 pounds in a matter of 8 months, which is great. And this year, I considered it, but I wanted to give this a shot. And it's going pretty well. I enjoy it. There are aspects of it that I like, aspects of it that I find hard to accept. Just this insane amounts of volume. I mean, 10 sets seems a bit excessive. Part of me wants to increase the weight, increase the intensity, decrease the actual number of sets, give that a try. And there's a couple of things, but overall, I'm going to give another 2 to 3 months, and then maybe reevaluate, see if I want to keep it going, or potentially make some changes, maybe combine it with other programmings, pretty much just see what works for myself. Everyone has to, take their time to learn their own body. And for those of you interested, my current split is a 6-day split. It is as follows. I do chest and tris, then back and bis, then a day off, and then I do shoulders, followed by legs, followed by one more rest or yoga day. That's right, I have been incorporating, there's a yoga class that happens at my local gym. It's an hour long, and I've been going there, and I feel that, that is something that a lot of people take for granted, unfortunately, because they think, to get bigger and stronger, all you do is lift and eat, and you lift and eat, and that's it. And that's pretty much 80 to 90% of it, I will agree. But there are a lot of things that people don't take into consideration in terms of strength and injury prevention. Lots of guys, who just lift and eat. We're so big and massive, and we can't fit through doors, but we can't touch our toes. And you take one slip, one fall, or one bad form exercise. Suddenly, that's it. You tear a tendon, you pull a quadricep or something, and you are out for the season. So I think yoga, stretching, mobility work, things like that. Not only do they help us increase our strength, but they do, decrease how injury prone we are. So that's it, guys. That's just a quick update. Hopefully I'll be getting into some more vlogs. I know I haven't really done that since my competition days. Part of the reason because my life isn't that exciting. It's pretty much just lift, eat, edit video. That's pretty much it. But I do want to start documenting it so that you guys have an idea of what you can eat throughout a bulk and not get too fat, but at the same time eat sufficient carbohydrates that you are getting strength, you are getting size, and what it's like to see someone pretty much in the final months before a powerlifting competition. And hopefully you guys will enjoy it. But in the meantime, I will see you in the next video. And also, guys, I just want to say once again, thank you to each and every single one of my subscribers, my viewers, the guys who like, comment, subscribe, negative comments, for feedback. Absolutely everyone. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I just can't tell you that enough.